but made a really good entry in my journal.
All right. This is a Public Art Advisory Committee, Monday, September 15th, 2025 at 5:15 p.m. This is a hybrid meeting. The public may join us in person and in person, Brisbane and City Hall and its conferences, 25 Park Place, Brisbane, or via Zoom. Roll call, Chair Glassman is absent. Vice Chair Commissioner Sewell.
Here.
Councilmember Davis.
Here.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Here.
Park and Recreation Commissioner Sims.
Here.
Committee Member Costa.
Here.
Committee Member Salmon is absent. And we have no exceptions for requests of emergency circumstances.
Do we have an approval of the agenda?
So,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And approval of the minutes?
so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Abstain? Oh, good for you.
Let's review the request for qualifications, RFQ for phase 2 of the Firth Park project.
So at the last meeting, you guys had an opportunity to review the draft document, which we determined would be an RFQ versus an RFP. There was some discussion about what the budget would be for art at Firth Park. And the committee had asked staff to come back with some estimates of fencing options and the range there. So that's been provided on the second page of the attachment. And so with proceed with drafting the formal RFQ and taking that to the full city council for their approval, we want to just confirm the committee's direction on the not to exceed budget. So I know there were a few different figures that were thrown out, but we just want to confirm that today.
How many feet total would we have per fence? Cause I mean, that's kind of info that usually.
155 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Right at the top.
So if we did that by 200, cause that's what McGrath did, right? Essentially, and that's like what an artist might charge. That can't be right. 31,000, but that's a foot, like. You know, we're not talking like just,
It's length.
right, there's width too, so it's just 155 feet in length, but
We don't live in
how
there.
much, you know,
How high?
it's gonna
Or
be.
even how they charge it. I don't
So
know.
I would say 300,000 is probably fair if.
This is just for the fence.
No, this is for all of the
Total.
potential art at Firth Park.
Okay.
We're just a little concerned if there'd be perspective, it's a lot in one area.
Yeah, it really comes down to how much do you want to spend on new art at Firth Park? What do you think is appropriate?
And including the fence.
Well, I mean,
If
if
a
someone
fence
comes back.
project comes in.
Correct.
Depends
You don't know what
we
proposals
might
you're gonna
get
get.
something that's just like a sculpture and here's $10,000, $5,000 or a bench or whatever.
Well, we could put the, entire project not to exceed 300,000 and then that sets some expectations. Now, someone may come in with something fabulous and says it's $300,000 and we're gonna go, that's one thing, but who knows?
I mean, look at the stairway is costing us like what, 200?
Mhm.
That's a
Yeah,
stairway,
you
that's
have
not
the
even like
discretion.
the park is.
Yeah, you have the discretion to decide. For the stairway, I think we originally set $80,000 not to exceed. But with the caveat that the committee could award to more than one artist.
Yeah.
So this would be worded similarly, and then you could go up to 300,000, but even if it were to be beyond that, if you had multiple artists working, you could still make that recommendation to council.
Yeah, I would say it would be like 300,000 for total for
Yeah.
everything, and then
Okay.
if we just say we just have just enough for a fence, then we just do a fence. If we say, here's 4 things. Or someone might come and propose all kinds of 5 different things that all made by them.
I think politically, the fence is gonna be attracted to anyone who's played there with kids, so
Yeah,
that doesn't bother me
100%.
at all, you know?
But, you know, you were bringing up, and I know this really isn't the time to discuss it. You were talking about how high is the fence gonna be, because you're saying that different sizes can make a difference on price.
yeah,
But I don't think that we would wanna wall it off
No.
with a fence where people couldn't see children
Yeah.
playing. Or nefarious activities could be behind a
yeah.
fence that, but
Well,
again,
a lot of fences too, like you can see through,
Yeah, yeah.
like if it's like vines or something, like you could see through.
I think, aren't you more thinking about a visual reminder that not to go any further, or is it like really a strong fence that's gonna hold off kids from going?
Or is it just a whole lot of cars
Yeah,
going
yeah.
in?
no cars are going in, I mean, it could be the dump truck and nothing's gonna
Yeah,
stop
yeah,
it.
right.
Or like a semi, I mean, and that has happened, so that is something that like we might. I mean, last thing we wanna do is put something in and it gets taken right out, but what happens in that situation, like if somebody comes in,
Sure.
they take out, right, like they take out our
Our
fence.
insurance pays for it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Then we just put that money back in the public art fund or whatever,
Yeah.
and. We know how much it cost us, so,
Not to throw a wrench in the works, but we talked about a bathroom potentially up there as well, because it's so, would be utilized so much more if it was
Yeah.
a bathroom. It is a wonderful spot and it should be used. And I think that's maybe something we can think about as phase two. It's not us, but
Yeah, definitely
Or-
to make it more
Public Works.
There's
It's
a
a dream, it's a
larger-
dream.
There's a larger, large
Put it
parking
in
lot
there.
up there that could.
Yes, the travel bathroom.
Nothing fancy, just.
The city pays for the porta potty that's at Fisherman's Park and at Littman tennis courts,
Got it.
so.
That could be a temporary.
I
No.
do, I
There's
mean,
something going on with,
there's definitely places where, I mean, we need one at Littman Field for sure.
yes.
We need one at, I think that if there was a bathroom. That Firth would be utilized much more. We always, when I was on Park and Rec, we really wanted one at BES, like the BES field. Because you can't always access the school.
Yeah.
And you have games, you have practice, and finally,
There's one.
I mean, that was like. And so,
What did that cost? Just,
oh wow,
okay, we'll get on track.
I could pretend I remembered, but I'm not gonna
at
try.
least a couple hundred.
Yeah, I think
At least.
Sure,
over 200.
And it was closer to 3,
and that was a while ago.
Mhm.
So,
probably 500,000 now.
but you know what, the problem has always been with the school.
Yep.
And trying to get a bathroom at Littman,
Yep,
but Firth Park is one that doesn't come up. Hardly at all, and that's so much easier, because we don't have to deal with school. The other one that comes up a lot is Silver Spot.
yep.
There's a really big need, because that's a whole park that toddlers can't even use. I mean, you're taking kids that have the most need for a bathroom, immediate bathroom.
Yes.
You have a park with no facilities and they can't use Silver Spot.
There's full bathrooms. Well, we're off topic,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
where else
Yeah,
do we need to talk about? So
Okay,
three
I
hundred?
think that's.
It sounds like there's general consensus.
I would say that when this comes up as like you know, sometimes the commissions and committees, they send things to council, they think that should be included in capital improvement project lists, and sometimes they just stay on there for a really long time, and then we get some kind of grant, or like we have some kind of surplus in our budget, or we negotiate some public benefits or whatever. So it's kind of good, I think, maybe take that back to your committee and
Yep.
and your commission and talk about it, and
We
through
did
Park and Rec.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
talked
then it
about it
makes
last week,
more-
yep.
Good.
Okay, great. So when do you think, staff member, that you'd like to bring that council approval, and then it would go out?
We could shoot for the second meeting in October or the first meeting in November. To bring to council.
All right.
All right. Anything else regarding Firth? That'd be good. So it looks like some work done to Identify benches that need refurbishment.
Okay, so the committee reviewed this item, you'd asked staff to identify a short list of recommendations of existing benches that could use refurbishing or replacement, as well as prospective new locations for benches. And so I captured some within the attachment to this item, but, it's not
To me about this the other day.
There's a lot of them going on about benches.
Yeah.
Someone told me to talk to me about this. And
It's
they
been
were
like a lot
like,
of different meetings, age friendly and.
Got a lot of good.
someone was like, are they gonna be like this? Or are they gonna be like, someone was asking if there's gonna be like paint or they're gonna be new. Like, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's.
refurbished existing or if they were gonna be new, cool.
The most recent conversation was there was a desire kind of two paths for benches, one being. Refurbishing existing and utilizing what's already there, but maybe beautifying it. Or having an artist come out and receive a small stipend for beautifying it. And then the second path would be soliciting artists to design benches that we would just in new locations, so.
I really think that if we can purpose what we have, it's a much better look than say. We want when we're sort of a volunteerism kind of community. And all these could be made cooler in some respect. Without having to replace.
Totally agree.
And I think a lot of them where they are, you'd want to not necessarily. Some places you may not want to attract bold, beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely in the
I
middle
love
of
that you brought up-
visitation.
I love that you brought in like the tennis courts. That is so fun. Like, can you imagine just making them tennis art?
That would be
so
so
much.
people waiting to get on the course.
See, my thought was like, looking at the dog park one, to me, like I get Terry's point, but to me, there's also, you have to consider like place. So to me, painting a bench in that place, you got a lot of you got paws that jumping, as people are saying, they jump up, a lot of pee happening. So to me, that's like a place where you have, maybe it is a dog. That's like a place where you could be really fun and whimsical, but
Love it.
other places, maybe not so much. But like, it looks like that quarry trail bench, that looks like it's in pretty good shape.
Yes.
Like some of these, like that Firth Park bench, no way. That Firth Park bench does not look like refurbishable. That looks real old. That's like probably gonna come forward. We'll evaluate that when we see
What
we do. Well,
It's
current
like-
condition picture doesn't tell us what the current condition is.
But that's
Oh,
one of
but
those
this one is
old
really-
ones. That's
Yeah.
one of those ones that you wouldn't really. You can't really paint on that. It's like plasticky, like, the ones with all the holes.
I know what they are, yeah.
I just feel like that's probably not the right.
We should
Like,
probably discuss, yeah.
Well, and to Terry's point, I think if there are benches that are in usable, functional
Oh, yeah.
condition.
It should be.
But you wanna you wanna put an artfully designed bench at the dog park.
Yeah, you could
Maybe you
replace
put
it.
that bench somewhere where there isn't currently.
Yeah,
one. So
that's
we're
it.
not dumping it into the landfill, it's still being utilized, but it
Yeah.
creates an opportunity for
Well,
two things.
oh,
versus
that
one.
would be fantastic.
so how many are you wanting us to identify?
It was 3 and 3, right? You guys had
Three.
talked about
Three new,
And
And
three
Just to kick off, yeah.
And
I love the
would all
dog
of
park
them
idea.
be taken
For
off?
I
a new
think
one.
so, I think so.
Like,
too.
Great.
Centennial Park in South.
It's great for
dog art and
Because they do it
it's
so
really
beautiful.
fun.
They have a really beautiful.
That's
park.
also a place that's gonna get high utilization. There's a lot of people there who are sitting and hanging out every day. It's a community that's there.
It's close by here, and we can show people, kind of an example.
Yeah, I think that's a place that like,
The dog park.
I think it's brilliant.
great place to invest, and but that's the kind of art that's like great to have two purposes, and you know, the dogs might not appreciate it, but the people do, but they're not really there to sit and appreciate art, so it's the kind of the perfect
Yeah.
blend, because
It's
they will
You
appreciate the
get
seats.
different people, yeah.
It's classic.
I could just see like a wiener dog,
So where else?
like a
Where,
dachshund.
where else could we put something new?
I was wondering, I like the Fisherman's Park view. That park, that bench is like in an ideal location. Overlooking the
They will
lake.
abuse it.
Yeah,
They-
They will,
It's
they will
so
dump their,
nasty
they'll
over there.
dump their ratty fish on it. They will,
So bad.
Oh, really?
both of the fishermen parks are,
What about the,
it's a good, covered in sea coal crap.
you got the same
really bad.
trail near the pier, those are nice big
Those are
cement
really
things
nice
that could
too. They
maybe
could be painted.
painted on
I
possibly.
think we should think about it.
Interesting.
I think we should do one up. So we don't discriminate, you know, up the ridge and one down here.
Mhm, the mission. view.
That's who it was. It was Cliff was asking me if we were gonna do any benches at, what was our plan for art at the Ridge? And I was like, well, we wanna do the hydrants, but the HOA, and it's tricky with the HOA, but we're doing this bench program. Maybe we could stick one at Mission Blue.
Yeah, we got Mr. Bill outside.
The tennis courts, maybe. it's
Do we
just
have
like-
any of the ones that are already at Mission, do we have benches at the
No,
Mission Blue or
they-
do we just use the walls?
They just
They
use the
just
one little
use the
seat
wall.
wall
There's
around
no
outside of the
seat,
building.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't have any benches there at all for any of that stuff?
In the
No.
tennis courts, there's one, but it's not,
Tiny, yeah.
it's
Let's do
not,
the whole bench.
doesn't meet the need for.
So that's a place that needs, that's a good place.
You know,
to-
tennis, I will say most of the time in tennis courts, they are the usual bench, because people aren't really using them to sit on them, they're setting their stuff.
Okay.
Do
Or
have a
if you're
big
waiting for
platform
the
on
court, but
Mission
not.
Blue.
But outside of
There's
Mission Blue,
This picture though.
Yeah, when they play
They're waiting.
pickleball,
all the time.
when you play pickleball, there's only.
There's, yeah.
So that could be that we just use one of the
Other
benches from the other locations and put it there.
Mhm.
And
I
then,
also would hate to have some sort of installation where when you have to resurface a tennis court, it all has to come out,
Yeah.
and so there's other issues.
So it sounds like there's interest possibly at the Mission Blue Center outside the facility or near
I
the
think
park.
Somewhere
Some
there.
of the new ones are iconic places.
So can we
in
take
town.
this one that's here at the dog park? I see two in this picture.
yeah, there's a
already.
couple.
So maybe we could take one over
One-
there
one-
and then we could stick it over at the tennis courts. And we could do something there.
Well, let's focus on the three new ones.
Oh,
that-
okay.
That would be a new one.
So we got
Because
one,
then we'll move it.
So one new at the, Mission Blue Center, that would be one of the new.
Dog
ones.
park.
And then dog park.
And then a new one, and a new one at the, and a new one at the dog park. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, and then somewhere in town that's iconic, you know?
well, there's a good one, visitation at
Yeah,
Mariposa,
Yes.
but I don't know if that's got like a pretty decent looking regular one.
But it could be painted.
What's another area people,
That's a.
maybe it's park.
Well,
That's near the senior
Kind of the community center is like, I have been told that like, it's hard to walk all the way up to visit town to find a good
Nice.
resting spot.
Where
So
would
I
we
think-
put that?
There's a little landing area below the posting board. There's a garbage can there.
So we,
But we would just have to make sure that it remains ADA accessible.
Yeah.
Are you saying like right
Right
here?
Yeah,
I would say that would probably be one for an existing, because it is such a small.
It could be an
could
existing.
be nice, yeah. It could be an existing but
That may,
refurbished.
that may get
Painted.
torn down someday too.
clearly, we have to then do whatever's
I
there.
hope not.
Yes. Okay.
But you're thinking more of moving an existing one there and refurbishing it versus putting in something new and
It doesn't have anything, right?
It does not. We
So
have.
maybe
the
that's
garbage
easy
can.
to put. I don't
Or
know.
a new,
Something in the
new
middle.
bench.
Ew.
Move.
Move.
posting board.
Yeah, that's true then.
What if they are?
Yeah, because then you can't get to the posting board.
What if it included it?
But the posting board could move right there in front of the tree.
I'm not saying anything.
No, I like it. It was a smile,
Um,
a digital posting board.
Well, we're getting there. That's been on our list, but low on the list.
The one over here was tweaking out. It's been tweaking out, hasn't it?
We gotta
The
have.
one over in the, it was like, one day it was like. Half of the screen was one message and half screen was like the changing message and it's like. Yeah. All bad. Because.
Well, that is a temporary issue, is something that isn't. It's. Silent.
Clear parking lot.
That would be.
Still there.
Yeah. Here. Back here. Instead of reading, yeah, that's there. And that's whole longer.
Or you could put the posting board like.
Times, but. Scott.
And they do sit on the wall. but-
Where?
Yeah.
Around.
So it doesn't have it in the back.
Outside. Yeah. I think every time it's a kid.
Well, the new tree's gone.
It's a. It's whole thing, but it's nice.
Is it trash?
Yeah.
And could the trash be used? Because I saw in some of your examples, there's a bench and a trash included in the new art.
I mean, it could be, it would be up to the artist to propose it that way.
Okay.
It's gotta be something that like, you know, right now, a lot of the trash cans on visitation are locked.
It
So
would have to
something
fit in.
like, because people
just
have
food.
started businesses and people have started putting like their whole. Trash bag, cleaning out their car, or putting their whole trash from their house, shoving it in there. So. There's a whole thing with trash going on right
I
now.
love that idea.
Maybe if, I mean, I don't know if it'd be worth it, but, you know, if we did get a proposal for like some sort of new iconic bench there, that it could be a bench that is potentially movable if it needs to be moved in
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah, could we do
If
this?
we-
I just feel like this is
if we
easier.
do-
I love it, man.
If we
Yeah.
do,
Well, that's a
Rather
horror.
make that-
Interesting to see what an artist would come up with for the, you know, the idea of communities
Mhm.
and all the use
Actually, yeah.
cases we have.
It's gonna get a lot of views
Yeah.
there, and it's
Yeah,
supporting
spot,
people.
Yeah.
spot.
Same it up at the ridge, that's gonna get a lot of views.
Yes, and blue, so
Yeah.
shoes.
Mhm.
Can
Okay,
I talk
so-
about that? Can I talk about that for a second? The Mission Blue one, because you said there's already benches there.
Outside of Mission Blue
No,
Center.
No, not benches, but an existing sitting
There's
area.
like a seat
wall.
wall that like wraps around the patio.
Is that like, see, like sit there, it looks like.
Yeah, there's actually-
Running around. Remember that? No.
It'd be fun to make it art.
Yes.
Recycle it there and make it really cool.
Let's get away from our. Bench program when we're doing seawalls. That means a little bit further afield and being.
Over.
That's what
And I think that
So comes, we have the new article, be this to refurbish, and then the ones that'll be moved somewhere else, the old to go.
Good.
Smart.
Mhm. Even there, but yeah, it's like that wall.
I really should have started that way.
That's okay.
Okay, so old bench, new location is gonna be
Yeah.
tennis courts, right?
Yeah,
So dog bench
Hold
to
on,
MB
Well-
courts.
okay. I was just like, I need to visually put this.
And then
in.
you will add the dog park,
New was a dog.
fabulous
park.
dog bench.
One. Done.
I keep on thinking of the San Francisco dog,
Oh,
like, yeah.
So are we
And-
saying like
and-
a community center?
Yes.
And I think you guys said Mission Blue Center, because that got
Community,
big.
community
traffic.
center, sure.
Community center?
And then we gotta do something up on the ridge.
and then.
Well, that is the ridge, this is the ridge, right?
Yeah, but that's just an ugly.
That's just a regular bench.
Bench to a.
We're not gonna paint that?
Maybe not.
I think it was just moving the bench,
Yeah.
because the dog park's gonna get a nice new fancy one. It was just getting rid of one. of
Oh,
the
I
old
thought we were
ones.
just gonna take that bench and then make it nice here. No?
No, I-
I think it's just need the utilitarian bench inside the courts, if we're gonna put something out. I don't have a problem putting something nice somewhere up by the ridge, but again, we probably have to worry about whether it's on a property or a homeowners association. So I think the only place up at the ridge we could really move forward would be at Mission Blue Center. That's right.
Okay, so then is that these new whole new. Do you want a whole new artful or do you want it existing that's refurbished? Artful,
Artful.
new,
No,
okay.
So those are presumably like iconic
Yeah.
pieces that we will
That
have
we-
artists propose.
My only concern is that it will be in a public space that people use for other
Events.
purposes. And if we choose like an artful band, that might be kind of a look that people either don't choose for their.
Well, I think
events.
it's okay. I think that's part of your process when you get proposals from artists, is you take
You
that
might
into
say in
consideration.
the description, like,
okay.
hey, one of the
That they will be
locations.
used for
Right.
multiple
Right.
purposes, yes.
And I think
Just,
that,
just like with the dog park, you would take it into consideration that there's dogs jumping, right?
There's
So
gonna
yeah,
be
it's
down
gonna be
there.
site specific.
So yeah, potential Brisbane, we have Crocker, kind of.
And Rich.
And.
Right. So I would say like the places that we have missing, if we wanna just kind of scatter them, is gonna be Marina
Mhm.
is missing. And
so if we were gonna do something at the marina,
How about the fishing pier?
I think we should.
yeah, fishing pier, again, both those places.
the cement
How about
ones,
the
The cement ones
headmasters?
are good, though. Are the cement ones good?
Yeah, the cement ones are good, and I think they would be a good canvas.
but there's three, and I think.
I think they're more than three, go further down. And we could do something that has a theme,
From-
I
um,
love it, I love
that,
it.
that is
Awesome.
interactive trail. I would say we should look at what's along the trail out there at the marina. That we look at, hey, cause they're hard, comfy ones.
They're really
Yeah.
good surface.
All of them.
But I think that, again, I think that getting something that's cohesive is down that
One
trail,
I think you
one
bundle them
artist,
as a
I would
set.
put that as
Yeah,
a
Bundle as a
refurbish
set.
the in.
Yeah.
I would do that as a bundled set, and
But
there may
how
be six.
do we, are we good with going more than,
I think that would
three
do
bench.
the three bench, the next group,
that's like might be way more.
it may be way more.
Is that fine?
We just kind of decided three to have a starting point, so.
But this would be, I think, a big canvas.
yeah, that's
One
really
project.
good.
And that an artist,
Six benches.
Yes, and that's.
whether
exactly-
it's six or five or whatever we
Yeah.
got.
And they're easier to pick.
Um,
Like one artist necessarily, but thematically one vision, like.
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
Bench.
artist, but
I think it's one artist.
Yeah,
but it's-
yeah.
So
Yeah.
close.
There,
That is a
those-
great idea.
those benches might need some like structural
Yeah, I
repairs, so
think they
we'll
need
go
to
out
do,
and look
like,
at the condition.
What
What we did at
with-
first, we can
with
do the
first,
same with
You know, they
those
might-
prior to the artist painting.
They
Yeah,
need to be, sealed and
yeah, exactly.
injected and
I think it's
injected.
good because it really spreads it across our whole community as a starting point.
Great
We've got visitation, we've got dog park, Mission Blue, and the marina, they all highly used recreational areas. I would say, to me, when we're revisiting this next time, trails should be something that we're considering, and I think those are perfect to do either. But a lot of them already have benches that might be, we could do one Crocker, we could do one, Corey. And
But I think that, for me and the vision I would have is that when you're putting a bench really in nature, it should reflect nature. It shouldn't be a hot pink, whatever. I mean, in my thought process, it should fit in. I mean, and yes, art can be unexpected. It can be, shocking to your senses sometimes, but I'm not sure that that's what we really want to create when we're looking at them in nature.
I think
More.
it just depends, like, with Crocker, if we're gonna have these big murals. We might have some murals that are kind of loud, and it is industrial meets nature, it's
Mhm.
kind of
No,
got.
I was
blending
looking more at,
things, like the marina
like,
area.
you see this, where it's
Yeah.
a sweet little kind of thing, but again, we're not talking about those
that's-
locations, and that's what the artist will propose.
That's, yeah,
So
that's.
you had a
the-
great idea with these packaging these up in one
Yeah.
location. Well, what about doing another package for the tennis courts, both tennis courts? And we just do submit for an artist for tennis court benches.
I
Existing.
Down the road.
maybe down the
Is
road,
it existing? Do we want 3 or is that it?
no, that would be more
That
than
would be
3
it.
benches.
Okay. Do we want to add more to existing?
No,
I think this is a big enough.
this is a
Okay.
big bite to take off at once.
Well, and I think some of those things may happen organically, right? Like the Firth Park project, we might get a bench out of that. And with Crocker Trail
Yeah.
Master Plan, with the CEQA analysis happening after that environmental work, then we'll have an opportunity to really look at benches there. Tennis courts, I know the council allocated some money to resurface the tennis courts at Littman, so.
Or maybe there's like, a grant we might get where it's like seating is part of it, and therefore then we have a collaboration with.
Right, so this is not the end of this
Oh, yeah.
project,
no,
just
no.
the beginning, but I think it's a good pilot. And it touches on different
And I
areas.
think you get
of town.
really different proposals for all
those locations.
4 of those locations.
Which is cool.
You get a good practice run and see how
Yeah.
it works.
So are we gonna ask people to propose for specific, obviously the marina, that's a bundle, I think that
Correct.
probably, like, that goes together. But are you gonna ask applicants to say like what area they're thinking, or they're just gonna submit their RFQ or whatever, and we'll pick where we think it belongs?
Yeah, I mean, my thought process after seeing this is that like the marina would be its own and you identify a stipend for the artist that's gonna tackle that full project there. And the other 3, you identify a not to exceed budget, and then you say, these are the locations. You see what you get back from artists, and then you can pick and choose what you like for each site.
That's why we're calling it a stipend.
Money.
Could be
Call it
enough.
whatever you wanna call it, yeah.
I'm just curious because I just wanna make, like, we're here to support the arts and it's like. Stipend sounds like we're gonna pay you for your time, or like, I kind of have that as a lower level, and not that I wanna go like,
What do you think a better word?
I mean, payment. Like,
We need a marketing
cost,
term.
fee, yeah,
Yeah.
fee.
Yeah, I
Your
think,
retirement.
I think that's what you're saying. I feel like we
Correct.
pay all of our
Yes.
artists really fair. I mean, they tell us what they wanna get paid and we say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
to be nitpicky, but I was genuinely curious if we were saying like, oh, are we just?
Well, it doesn't want,
No.
it's where you pay a speaker an honorarium instead of paying them a fee. And the honorarium might be $300,000 if you're getting Barack Obama,
Right.
and 0 if you're getting an orange shirt guy. But
So good, Terry. So wait,
Do we need to discuss budgets here? Do we want to put money?
Yeah, that would be helpful. You're gonna see this again before it goes to council, cause I'll
Okay.
come back with the draft.
hard to say on Marina what that should be, since we don't know. Like, how
Well-
many benches we're really talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I provided kind of a range at the last meeting of what similar projects in other cities have gone for. Unfortunately, we're typing somewhere, sorry.
No.
But for refurbishing,
Like, I just wanted to be clear. of
Yeah,
what we're
I
saying.
see there, I see
refurbishing
three.
project, repainting an existing infrastructure of a bench. That ranges anywhere from $500 to $2,000. Now, if it was 5 benches out at the marina, then you could multiply
And
that.
it might be, it's gonna be custom artwork that's full, I mean, I
It's a
think
big
that.
canvas.
It is a
Yeah,
very big canvas.
And I
Yeah,
think that could, and that's, we have to allow for what it's gonna take to get it shovel ready, so to speak.
Yeah.
Whatever refurbishments and
Correct.
chorus, whatever they have to do to concrete to make them.
yep, yep,
So that one's a separate proposal anyway, so
Yeah,
we could table that till we see it, right?
yeah.
Well, no, I mean, we should still sort of think of what, and we may wanna say not to
What
exceed,
you would feel comfortable spending on that.
$100,000
Alright,
or whatever
what
we
would-
want.
What would you spend, Terry, on that?
They said that.
It really does depend how many benches there are.
Right, so we'll wait and talk about money next time.
Okay,
Maybe we could
Existing
set
bench
something for the
For the
new, cause the new ones,
That would
let me go, are. Where did?
I mean, those really vary based on
Yeah.
scale and size and materials. I mean, that can be anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000. It just depends.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm
Do-
curious, do we have any information about, like, I just want whatever it is to fix, right?
Yes.
And that seems like it gets in that, like I noticed with the fences, if you add
Mhm.
powder, it'll help it, yeah. Like, I wanna allow enough for that. for- Even when I think of painting, like, I don't know what the processes are, or what people do to make stuff last, but I'd like it to.
Well, what did it cost to do whatever coating and painting the original art pieces that we had in First Park?
I think we paid Carmel like 5,000. To restore them,
Two.
patch them and.
Speaking of
Prime them.
which. I
Oh.
found, I sent this to Noreen,
So cool.
but I was in the Brisbane Bee, as I do every month.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in there and I'm scrolling around looking for content. And I found this picture and I was like, wait a minute, it's like on the front page and there's 2 kids like, looking like this. And I realized these
Tree
kids
form.
are on the tree form. Like the helix.
At birth.
And they're looking down and the photographer is like this and the kids are holding on, looking down.
So cool.
2 little kids. And then there's another one I find is the turtle. And there's Bonnie Bolagoff and all these and people, and there's like nothing on Thomas. Thomas is like just a
Hillside.
bare mountain. And
Wow.
it's talking about how and it's because their house was right across the street. So it kind of makes
Mhm.
sense that maybe Bonnie was like, we gotta do something with this.
Yeah.
But it was the wives, the firefighters and the police officers' wives association. And they raised all this money and they did rummage sales and they did all this stuff. And they raised this money to do like Glen Park recreation area. And then it became a memorial park for the first, whatever firm it was, with the family back then who was like super involved. And so it's cool to find. So we were like, how did they get there? When did they get there?
Yeah.
For that.
Continues.
Yeah.
So I have to found the pictures, I sent Noreen
Yep.
and a little
Do
blurb
a little documentary on that.
about it. It was so cute.
break out when
Yeah.
the park is kind of being.
Yeah,
That would be a good plan.
So I have a
So-
question about,
Great
so
stuff.
for the new benches. Do we wanna put a stipulation or whatever, just, I have some concerns, because we're also kind of tying it in with the age friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And some benches in here are definitely not age friendly, so. In the future RFP or RFQ, depending on the price. Is that something that we want to kind of put in there, like the banana, for example, is not, but then you have these beautiful other pieces that are very artful that are age friendly.
I would put we're not getting money from age friendly. Necessarily.
True.
I would say that in the RFP that we'd say that we prefer. Designs that have age-friendly characteristics, and then we can make a decision for how far we want to go
Yeah.
when we go with it.
I think we also need to consider place, like, if we're talking about putting one at the community center, the thought behind that was people need a place to rest
Yeah,
there.
and that would make.
Cause it starts being more of an incline. So at that one, you would say, for sure,
Age
make
friendly.
it age friendly.
Yeah.
At the dog park, there's other seating options. There's
Whimsical could be okay.
whimsical
Yeah,
works.
right.
And Mission Blue, maybe it's some, something just normal, but I would say, if we're doing a place because we think seniors will wanna sit there, then we note that. Otherwise, I think it could be a little.
Right, and I think that, at the
Right.
marina, there's a bench here that's Gaudi-esque. It looks like Barcelona Gaudi.
Oh,
And I don't know if an artist would take the existing cement bench and make it doesn't
This
have to
one.
just
Like
be
a
painted,
mosaic?
yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, that's a good
Well, that's
point.
very like that's Gaudi.
Yeah, very
Um,
much so.
But
Gaudi
I don't,
No, really good, really.
no, it's not Gaudi, Gaudi.
I don't, okay, I know, I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, I don't. I know that.
Like, and senior's not gonna sit on that, and they're not gonna sit, they're not gonna
Nobody's
sit
gonna
on
sit on
there, and a lot of these are like.
Although our
no
city
back.
calls seniors 55 and older, so technically everybody, but
You.
And they're not gonna sit on this, I mean, a lot of these things are.
and who needs a 20-foot bus? Then to know that you're waiting for a frickin' bus. It really has 2 seating areas.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, but again, those are things that once. And we may think something is gaudy. And we see it and the artist wants to place it at Mission Blue and we go, yeah, that works. Who knows?
Another request that came up that Cliff conveyed to me was,
Like the ones with music.
Cliff mentioned that the people at the.
Trailer park.
Thank you, the trailer park were upset because their hydrant didn't get painted. And I told Cliff that it's like,
But they could have volunteered to.
someone has to volunteer to do it, like, we don't send an artist to you, I mean. Sometimes, and also if it's one that's never been painted. We have to get North County Fire involved and they have to approve the new additions, and so it's like. Not that easy, but if somebody wants, it's
They
a
have to take
community
the
thing,
initiative.
you want the hydrant, you have to.
Take the
There's a
initiative.
lot of people that live over there, someone says, I wanna paint this, and then they do it.
And we'll help facilitate the process.
And so then there was like like, well, what about doing more art there? And I was like, well, it's private property, so we're not gonna put art inside the trailer park that only they're gonna enjoy. It's one thing if you have a collaboration with like a business that's really visible and you're doing a big mural like we have at Midtown, and maybe that works, but like that's not really the venue that makes sense. And he was like, well, they just feel really separated. They don't feel included. They don't feel like part of Brisbane. And how can we like bring something that like kind of recognizes that the trailer park is a part of our community? And so he mentioned like maybe putting a bench over there. And so I don't know if we have city property over there. And I know that there's like not even really a
There's no
walkway.
sidewalk, there's.
Didn't we talk recently about that at the council meeting and trying to put
We-
some kind of
we-
infrastructure?
We talked about it when Sam Vance was talking about putting the signs and benches for the $100 bus stop. Wasn't it was where
Yeah, I loved having the visual.
wants it.
Otherwise, it's
But I
just.
think that it's difficult if another council member is trying to direct what we are doing and how. I would say the recommending better is that to direct that conversation the whole.
An entryway art piece.
I think that
But
this
it's
would
not our
just
property.
come up like
It isn't, though.
at a council meeting, I don't know.
I see a
Communicate
bench
that.
here, but I want to go back to what you were saying, Madison, which is how people are feeling. And the fact that they don't know the process and who knows if there's an artist there. There are lots of people, but these are people who work really hard. And I mean, what I would like, see, happy to help. Try to, I think should do the fire hydrant. I mean, I think that is. There is.
There is a hydrant there. It used to be painted. They rolled it from surface. They want this one just. Yeah. So that happens. Oh, wait. Yeah. Right. That's not a bench. Oh, that's a minimum. And they're faced with.
Where did it go?
It's at the courtyard.
Is it gonna come over here?
Yeah,
Do we know what it is?
yes, I have it documented.
Okay.
So that's not there.
Correct, it's just a blank plain hydrant.
Oh, well, then they paint it.
Done.
They could, but that
And
hydrant.
Projects, correct?
No.
It's still functioning.
A blank one.
So it needs to be done when we do event. Like now. or
So I
whatever.
think, I mean, this is a corridor that gets walked by people. It is long. You're walking from the.
Is this the?
That's not known it as
No.
entrance.
That's a bus stop.
There's two of them.
Well,
There's
we
the
go
bus
to the
stop, I think.
bus.
But we're not.
Is it bus stop? I don't
It's
think
a
it's
bus
stop.
Just like a sign, because so,
Right here.
or do they are maintaining that just come and stuff in this spot? Like, could we use our public to put on my bus?
I think that's worth looking into.
Totally.
And that's an easy one.
That's an easy win. You got both of them
Maybe.
right there.
It depends.
But it's
There,
not
wait.
property.
That is, isn't that just a telephone pole laying around? There may be a way that we can access.
And
And
also
it might be
somebody's-
under a
so we might
power
get it.
line.
Yeah, we
Well,
need
is
to
there
figure that out.
something more this like ways to you know, not right.
Just plants and walk where anything.
Really know.
No,
I just know like because this is monitor people like man that they feel that they don't get the attention and
Yeah.
dollars spent. And that's, you know, whether we decide to invest in for this committee to decide, and this was conveyed to me by another council member, but that's not a directive from him. It's just like, hey,
He's
here's
gonna
some
ask.
feedback I've heard.
And it sounds like the Park and Recreation committee can, or commission can ask now staff to investigate, how do we get that?
yes,
That one refurbished for the next time.
yes, because
And then that would at
that's
least be part of
address,
that.
like, that's a
That's
feeling people have, right? That's, yeah.
I think also, this is another good topic for when the committee has the conversation about public art on private property, like doing murals on the backside of warehouses in Crocker. We don't have a policy about that, or on doing public art on businesses on visitation. So this is just another opportunity for that conversation.
Love it.
Yeah.
Did we do everything we needed for budget for the new ones? What new ones?
No,
What
want
if
to
we wanted
revisit
to-
budget at the next meeting, or do you want to?
Well,
For the new one,
I
Is it?
think you could,
yes.
I mean, was there?
I would love to.
They probably ran the gamut from, you know,
5 to 50,000,
5 to 50,000 per.
yeah.
And
25 each.
I don't wanna be associated with the $25,000 bench, I'm sorry,
what is that, too little?
too much.
A great payout for the artist.
Dang, I was thinking 20 apiece.
That's
I don't know, I just,
yeah.
and the optics on that, like.
Yeah, it's maybe too.
But the brand new one, that would have to be.
The problem is like, people are like, how can you be spending this amount of money on this when we need a bathroom at
Right.
Let's just say.
Real thing.
But it's like,
It's different
the,
money.
the thing is that we can only spend this money. We've been fortunate. We have this pot of money. We can only spend it on art. I'm sure that the city would love to distribute that money in other places that sorely need it, but we can't. We have to be stewards of this money for that was collected for our purposes and must go to our purposes. And so, you know, art's expensive. It's like one of those things that you don't think it should be that much, but then it is. And
Supporting that art community too.
so we could, I mean, we could do it at like 15 maybe. I think the low end starts at about 5.
Yeah, I mean, if it's an art piece, I guess that's the difference. If
And-
it's
and
like
those
an
first
art
3
piece,
are-
but if it's really a bench, like it's gonna be in front of.
Point is, I feel like we're spending the money in a way where it's dual purpose, and to me, that feels like that's like has a big payoff. We didn't put $100,000 sculpture in the middle of the park. We like spent money on something that this community sorely needs that they can't get from the city budget otherwise. We're delivering that to them, but in a way where we could tap into this money.
I really wish committee member Sam was here, because I'm trying to figure out what she would say. 'Cause she's
I
very
would-
much into painting the arts.
I put a 25 cap on those 3 art pieces,
Sam's here,
and I would probably
you know, I mean,
say maybe
Hold on, Carrie.
10 per bench on the marina and see what happens. Doesn't mean we need to spend that,
Mhm.
and we don't, and you know, we can infer that we don't want to spend that, but we're willing to, if something just blows our doors off.
So you said up to 25 per each new one as a possibility?
And I'd say 10 for the collection times however many benches.
10 per
20, 30,
bench.
40, 50, yeah.
Probably
In
the
the
most,
collection.
yeah, I mean, and that's if they're really,
I'll have to go
Yeah.
verify how many are out there.
and you know,
You know,
we might go around the corner and find there's 10 of them when we revise that.
Right, right.
Cause those really could be the ones at Fisherman's Park. I think those are the concrete ones too, aren't they? Not at Fisherman's, at the pier, fishing pier.
Yes.
I
Yes,
mean, I guess here's the question, like setting a price on something I just know nothing about,
It's
like
so
how
hard.
much.
But we don't know anything about it.
the optics will come, and we can learn from the optics. Like, when we make a mistake, we're gonna hear about it, right?
Yeah, and I guess the question is like, how much do other cities pay for benches that are really cool? Like, we have examples of the benches and.
Yeah, doesn't it say?
The range is from 5 to 50,000. It depends on the scale and the
Material,
material.
like you're getting something like this, you're probably paying a pretty penny because these materials are expensive.
Yeah.
But this may,
This, you're probably paying a pretty penny because the mosaic
Mosaic
take a
are
lot, very
intense, take
interesting.
a lot of-
this little cute thing for like the dog park, maybe
Yeah.
a slightly bigger rain sun shield maybe would only be 10,000.
Right.
Yeah,
Or maybe you say, wow, we have this one so cool and we're gonna do a smaller scale, cheaper ones here so that we
Right.
have the budget to do a big one here. I think what's worse is like. When we hear from community members that you have, like that things move so slow in government.
Yeah.
And you've had this money for such a long time, we've not done anything.
Yeah, we
yeah,
can-
no, I totally agree.
We all agree we wanna
With
move
that,
forward. with
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And sometimes we put the RFP or RFQ out and we don't get any bites.
Then we know.
Then we'll
Too
go
low.
out again.
Well,
Yeah,
then
sometimes
you
that.
provide a scale, like depending on it.
Well, and that's why it's helpful to have the not to exceed
Yeah.
amount, right?
And it's good to have the ranges in the notification, so the public sees what the ranges are.
Yeah, they,
Other cities, I think that's good to have in the materials.
yeah,
If we do get pushed back, we
Yeah.
can revert to the prices.
If you're gonna spend the money too, like you wanna spend money on something that's like gonna be great and not like, oh, it's meaty. We spent 5,000, but it's mediocre.
right.
It's a regular old bench with some sparkles on it.
Right.
No, I agree with that.
Good luck defending that one. Yeah. Okay, so can I recap what I heard, where I think we
Yeah.
are? So it's my understanding that we would commission new artists to design benches at the Dog Park Community Center in Mission Blue, and we have a not to exceed budget of 25,000 for each of those.
Each of those?
Mhm.
Oh, I thought you said together.
No, each.
Cause they're brand
Okay.
new
Okay.
installations.
And then that we would be putting out a collection of the benches at the marina, the concrete ones.
That may or may not include Fisherman's Park.
Right.
I mean,
The
not
pier,
Fish- the
pier.
pier.
Yeah,
Made us see the Bay Trail.
so,
It might be just those, and I don't know how many there are.
yeah, so I will bring back that information to the next meeting when we bring this item back. That can provide you with a sense of how many they are. What we anticipate the restoration work maybe being and costs associated with that. And then confirm, because this needs to be part of the RFP, the space, the dimensions and site constraints at each of those locations, so the artists know how much space they have to work with. And then,
And so on the benches at the marina, and what you really notice is the one that's at the pier, fishing pier. There, the canvas is most more back on the fishing pier one. Whereas the ones along the Bay Trail are front and back.
Yep.
And
I don't know about the fishing pier ones.
I'm not sure about, I'm not talking about Fisherman's Park, but I'm fishing any of those.
Yeah.
Either of those two sites, I'm hesitant. And I don't think that you need to have that same linear continuity in the theory and the thought process and the form.
Those are kind of separate.
They are, but I think, I'm pretty sure there's some other benches that come down here
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
on the horseshoe,
Yes.
but I'm not 100% sure.
We're
But
going
that
there, we're
oyster-
flying there.
Angels.
Angels gonna
I like
fly
the
to
picnic.
Fair point. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so it won't go to the actual trail. It's just the-
How this is.
It's cool.
Oh, we're sorry. Looks like on
Over.
Bring-
No.
We'll figure it out.
Calling my people at the marina right now.
How many benches are there? Yeah. You're right.
People. More.
Yeah, right.
Right there. And then,
Any others?
do we have some on this down the other way?
You want me to go along to the left
Well,
there?
come down this way first.
Yeah.
Down this way?
It's just concrete, but
No.
it's on matches.
Well, we're gonna, I think another committee's working on it.
I don't think so.
Right
Right
at the edge of Dog Hill.
That's the culvert.
No, that's the part, that's the.
Regular.
It's a wooden bench.
Yeah, it's one of those cement ones.
Keep going down.
There you go,
Two
two
more
more,
here,
and a regular,
and,
I
maybe.
think that's a regular. Here you go, let's see. Oh, oh. It's five. I feel like the cedar and then the third, like, they're so.
I think they-
I don't want to be particular how.
Sure, there were three, two, or all five. Cool.
So we'll probably want to walk it and make sure.
Yeah.
Field trip.
Okay, and I have one more
I
thought.
mean, we won't walk.
Which I
it,
know I'm
but-
totally backpedaling on my initial thought that we cannot possibly spend $25,000 on a bench, but now that you've convinced me it's a piece of art. I am, when we do the RFQ, can we also put, we're open to exceeding, we'd like to stay in the range of, under 25,000, but for something truly extraordinary, we can be open-minded.
I think they have come back in the past, ours
We
have
come
come
back
back
a
to us in the past, so like they'll say, I can do this for 32, and then it becomes like, you guys love it, then we go into negotiation.
Cause like, what if there was something awesome?
Well, it'll still come to us if there's
Okay.
something awesome.
All right, I just don't.
They're
want
not
us
just
to
gonna
miss it.
go, no, we don't wanna do work with these
Yeah.
people.
Okay.
They're unrealistic.
Yeah.
They would tell us we're unrealistic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll put it back out again if we got no bites or unhappy bites that we don't like.
Or sometimes like, look at what happened with McGrath, isn't it McGrath?
Mhm.
So they proposed something and they were like, we were like, let's make this bigger, like, let's
Mm.
increase the scale, let's do all, and then the price went up, and so.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
But we don't have to sound like we're bucks up to start,
All right.
All right.
even if we are.
Any public comments?
I have not received anything written up to this point, and we don't have anybody online.
We gotta start marketing our meetings, cause we need more people to show up online.
This is a topic that I feel like everybody wants to talk about.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, they wanna put their 2 cents in, but they don't want to be in on the nitty gritty.
So,
More viewers.
really quickly though, I actually have a question. This came up in our master plan, it's like, when is it appropriate to hire a curator? And I don't know if we are viewing this as like, one collection that we're curating. Or if the curator is more site specific, where like everything in Crocker, like if we're planning Crocker, we're planning the Baylands. Or we're planning something at the marina and that's like a site specific curation of like, so it flows and feels right and has the right balance of different kind of art. And so this just came to me, it's like, we're building this big old collection now, benches all over the place. And is it appropriate? Because we talked about things over a certain amount. But this is like a big, individually, they're not over 300,000, but together they will get there. So when is it appropriate? It's just, I think, something for the community about like, when is it appropriate that we're pulling in a professional?
What's in our plan, our master plan?
Well,
I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it was like an amount.
it was a dollar
It's a
threshold,
amount.
I believe, but I also think it was in reference to like art districts, like. When the Baylands is built out, you would have an art curator that would be looking at the entire site and identifying
Yeah,
opportunities and
like a
making sure
plan.
they're cohesive,
That
like.
makes sense.
You could also with like Crocker Trail, when you start looking at art for Crocker Trail and building that out. You talked about like a visitation art district, so that's where I think it makes sense to bring in a curator. I don't know
Okay.
for something like this that it would, but if
Keep an
that
eye
was
on it.
something the committee wanted to pursue.
It's not like we want dog park benches everywhere in town.
Right,
No,
Right.
You know, I mean, sort of like San Francisco did a heart thing, and it's like, do we want one
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
But
But the curator would have to choose those spots and work with the businesses who would want that in that area.
I just think it's been a criticism, it's been a criticism of this committee that it's like, we're all non-professionals, even though actually many of us are professionals. And whether it's like in this world or very closely adjacent in highly creative fields that a lot of us are in. We aren't, you know, professional art critic curators, and so, you know, like sometimes the criticism has been, whether it's fair or not, but it's like, because we don't possess those qualities, like, are we steering this in
I think when we need help, we'll.
a bad
look at
direction?
Yeah.
it, You know,
Yeah.
There
People
should be
cry
a way
for
to
help.
outreach
Yeah.
more though to
Makes sense,
like the
though.
public who do, the artists who do have a lot of opinions. For maybe have to come to these meetings. I mean, Lisa can because she's on Park and Rec Commission, but you know, like Tom Hines always has some good insight, interesting things.
Are we expecting that also, because these are like in particular neighborhoods, that we're gonna be, the artist is gonna be on site to get community feedback about what kind of seating is important to them here, like what kind of qualities? Cause that we also have that in our master plan, like at what point do artists pull in feedback?
I would say.
I think-
The dog park might be interesting.
I-
but the
I-
community.
you know, I think when we had, and I wasn't involved with the committee and I stayed out of it with the mural thing and the accusations that flew about that. But I do think when it's something that's going to be an in-your-face kind of piece, that at that point, we should get community outreach. And I think that dog park, community center, Mission Blue, we do, but not to the same, I mean, and I think the person, the artist doing dog park probably would want to look and see who's using it, but maybe not, maybe they just randomly say this would be a great piece. Community center, I think we want to incorporate the signboard and make it a usable space, but a restful, age-friendly. And I think they're gonna wanna come and look at it. Now, maybe they're in New York and they're gonna do that via Zoom or, you know, some other way. I don't know.
Google Maps.
Yeah, and our,
That's what I
within the
meant.
public art master plan and our public art selection process. It identifies the opportunities for the community to be engaged and provide input to the artist, so.
And it might be at the city council level.
Yeah, yeah.
When we're duking it out up there about something we liked or didn't like.
Just wanted to like bring that back, and these are things that are like in our master plan, and yes, you know. Just to, we don't know all the specifics off the top of our head, but it's good to just make sure we're referencing back to ensure that we're following, you know, we're following the guidelines that we gave ourselves. Absolutely.
So they don't come back to bite us.
Right.
Next meeting is Monday, October 20th at 5:15. All good?
Right, yeah.
Let's, someone say cut.
Make the motion to close the meeting.
Let's
Thank you,
close-
Tom.
Yeah.